I'll make an actual argument out of this. Okay, has anyone ever read the comic book series Preacher? It's a Garth Ennis from the late '90s. It's about a disillusioned Baptist preacher who, through contrived circumstances, gains the word of God and goes on wacky adventures. It's very edgy. It's also very good. It's very, very good. A lot better than other Garth Ennis stuff. There's a scene where a character who will later become the main antagonist. I think his name's literally Scar, if I'm remembering correctly. But his very first introduction that you see him is he's a German military instructor. And the first thing you hear him say is shoot the women first when teaching a class of people. And then he goes on to explain that if you're fighting like an insurgency group or terrorists or whatever, any woman who's a part of that group will have had to have worked 10 times as hard to get there as any man. So on average, it's better to assume that the women are more skilled than the men, and you should go after them first. Which, at least in the like rules of like edgy comic book logic, does make sense, I guess, because the logic being like, if like most institutions are sexist, so for a woman to rise to that point in a military outfit would have to mean she's at least a very good shot. That's how I feel about female mangaka. I feel like the market is so oversaturated with cynical, like horny, money-grubbing dudes who are just like writing light novels of like, I got hit by a truck and got teleported to a universe where every man is his little sister's panties, or like whatever the fuck else, you know. And let's be clear, by the way, I know there's a lot of like cultural like you know, osmosis and crossplay or whatever, but there is a lot of latent and obvious misogyny in Japanese society, just like our society, by the way. You know, they're not unique in that regard, but it's present there as well, and a lot of people pay less attention to it because it's done in like a wacky anime format. But believe you me, okay, sexism is alive and well in anime, and it's pretty obvious if you read anything light novel-esque, you know. It's not exactly like subtle. So I feel like the popular manga or popular anime that are made by women have to be really good because the market's really oversaturated with the like isekai slop that appeals mostly to male sexual and escapist fantasies, you know? Yeah, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood's done by women. I'm not saying that women are always better than men at this, just that I feel like there might be more of a selection bias that, like, sort of preens off all but the best female mangaka, you know? Because like, they're less likely to do the whole, like, cynical isekai, like, I turn into my sister's panties, whatever. That's my guess. That's my guess. I don't know. Beastars is also by woman, isn't it? Yes. Easy to tell if you read the manga, by the way. That Beastars is the most like boy love yaoi slop I've ever read as a manga in my life. The anime doesn't do it justice. If you like, every panel in the manga is the furry characters staring at each other with giant glistening like heartfelt purposeful eyes. It's like watching Ouran High School Host Club, where it's deeply gay but all of the explicit romance is heterosexual, you know what I mean? It's very funny. Female mangaka aren't uncommon. No. I'm not saying that female mangaka are like uncommon. I'm saying that to like rise to the level of prominence that it would be like broadly published and people would know about it, you know? Like, I'm sure there are lots of amazing and shitty female-led manga or whatever, but there is like, for what is popular in the industry right now, I think there's going to be more of a bias towards like cynical isekai slop. But Beastars is also bad after a point. You already know this, but did you know the Beastars author is daughter of the Baki author? Yeah, truly like a power bloodline. Yeah. Anyway, you can instantly tell Beastars was made by a woman just from the front chapter cover of the very first chapter of Beastars. Effortlessly, look at the hand, look at the like the teeth. Effortlessly, like immediately, just like there's no like it 100%. I am biologically scanning the. Yep, you will always be a woman, you know. Yeah, there's a very specific. It's the kind of thing you're into. Could it be a shonen thing? No. This isn't Beastars. Isn't shonen. It's obvious she finds him hot. She finds a lot of people hot, and I respect that. The main difference that I've noticed is that it seems like if a female mangaka finds a character hot, they respect them, and if a male mangaka finds a character hot, they like denigrate them in an effort to give their character insert an opportunity to like prove their masculine virtue to them or whatever. Like men do all these weird, men play games, man. When men find like a woman hot, it's like off-putting and like intimidating, and she has to like be taken down a peg because it's like, you know, if she like demonstrates her feminine wiles in a way like she could control you, you got to show her you can't be controlled. And then it's like you read like, you know, a female manga or whatever, and it's like, oh, this character's hot, they're nice, smile, smiley face. Like, I like them, smile. I'm simplifying for comedic effect, but still. Who is the artist on that last one? It's Beastars. Also, it says right here, Hara Itagaki. Vosh is single-handedly holding up the transphobic patriarchal status quo. Yeah, listen, transes, you can get all the hormone therapy and bottom and top surgery that you want, okay? But if you draw the cover of a manga that you've written, I will instantly be able to tell your biological sex at birth. But I've scanned the drawing. I now know. The most clockable activity, actually. Drawing an attractive woman, but not in a degrading way. AFAB. Okay, you joke about this, but I am joking, of course. You know. Yeah, Oscar Carva, it's really respectable. Oh, Todd. I know. I was gonna compare, like... I was gonna compare how Baki, the mangaka for Baki draws men compared to how the mangaka for the daughter of Baki draws men compared to how the mangaka for Baki draws women. But unironically, I don't think women exist in the Baki universe. The literal only one that I know about is this one. And she exists purely so that the coolest black character in all of Baki can go up to her and say, hey, I love you. That's literally, I don't know if women exist in the Baki universe. Baki has a girlfriend. Yeah, but like, that's weird. Have you guys watched Baki? It's a martial arts anime. It's very weird. Like, Baki's girlfriend has no personality, and then at one point, Baki's abusive father shows up and says, hey, you'll never be strong enough to fight me unless you your girlfriend. And then, like, Baki and his girlfriend look at each other in a wooden shack, and they're like, I guess we should. And Baki's dad, like, stares at the shack they're in for, like, for like 2 days or something, and then Baki's covered in a glowing aura. It's genuine, like nothing else compares to Baki. It's genuinely beyond comparison. I feel like Baki feels like JoJo if it was made by a heterosexual. It's so strange, like genuinely. I'm not exaggerating, in case if anyone's thinking this is like a comedy bit. I read the first like 30 chapters or so, and in 20 of them he's fighting an imaginary praying mantis. Oh my god. I'm not Arthur Carva. JoJo's mangaka has a wife, doesn't he? Like I said, spiritually gay. Have you been keeping up with part 9? No, I haven't even finished part 7. I'm like so behind. Guys, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like JoJo part 7 is like JoJo part 3, and that it's one of those things that people really talk up, but like it actually kind of is mid. Parts 3, 4, 5, and 6 were all great. Though 5 was my least favorite of them. But for 3, like 3 was not that good. And I keep trying to make my way through 7. There's very little keeping me attached to it. It's like they're doing a race. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I haven't gotten to the part everyone likes in it, but I'm like hundreds of pages in. What's your current favorite manga / anime? That's pretty broad. Favorite anime is Fooly Cooly. Favorite manga is probably Berserk. It would have to be Berserk. Berserk or Dorohedoro. Berserk's never going to be finished though, even with like people carrying the torch. I don't know. You know what else is never going to be finished? Succession arc, dude. Holy shit. I know he's like dying or whatever. Can you get off your ass and finish Hunter x Hunter? What the f? There's so much shit going on. Are you kidding me? How the f Gon and Killua going to make their way to the Dark Continent? Like, what the f? There's so much shit to cover, you know? He's dying. He has chronic illness. Spoilers, Vosh? It's been on hiatus for like a decade. What do you want? I'm starting to think Gon and Killua aren't going to the Dark Continent. All I want is for Gon to show up at the beginning of the next arc and punch a mountain into dust. That's all I want, okay? It's the only thing that I care for.